they subbed in like a cackling retard to try to be the one who stopped.
Hello everyone, glad to see you on my channel. Let's watch this video and I'll give you my comments.
And they just got totally humiliated. He murdered senior citizens.
Yep.
Like, murdered them.
Are you condoning his usage of globalized intifada? His win in the Democratic Party gives fodder to Republicans who are rightfully saying that these socialist Marxist policies aren't going to work. And honestly, it flames it. This is an electoral advantage for Republicans, I think, because a backlash against him will galvanize voters and encourage them to go to the polls, not just in New York, but across the country, because people don't want this. We rejected that in 2024.
Okay,
So
Anna, go.
We rejected it. What a sweet lady. Anna Kasparian doesn't think so. She's now pounced on the sweet Asian lady.
Just curious, is there a day you wake up where you don't see terrorism everywhere? Because you literally just implied that this guy's a terrorist, and I found that bigoted, Islamophobic, and absolutely disgusting. If you don't like his policies, I can understand that, and we can have a discussion about those policies. But it seems like you just have a problem with the fact that he's Muslim. You have a problem with the fact that he looks a little different from other previous leaders. Don't interrupt me. I'm still speaking. I didn't interrupt you. Listen, the problem with that mayoral race is that the Democratic candidates who ran against him in the primary offered nothing. They offered nothing but the status quo. Andrew Cuomo was the former disgraced governor of that state who somehow thought that he had, I don't know, the entitlement to have his past erased and that people would totally accept him again. I'm really happy to find that the people of New York City rejected him because he's a complete and utter disaster. Now, as it pertains to Mamdani, we should actually talk about what he focused on as he was campaigning, because he actually did run a fantastic campaign. Even if you don't agree with his policies, he reached out to Trump voters in New York City and tried to figure out, hey, what is it that made you vote for Trump? What is it that's frustrating you about your current situation? He hyper-focused on economic frustration, much like Trump did, by the way, in 2016. That's what put Trump on the map. Mamdani did the same, although he had a little more substance to the exact policies that he wanted to implement. When it comes to government-run grocery stores, look, I agree. That seems a little weird. He was asked to elaborate on that a little more during a recent CNN interview, and he said that he wants to have one government-owned grocery store in each borough. So there would be a total of 5. That would cost about $60 million. Obviously, that would be paid for through taxpayer money. I do not like, I want to be clear about this, and I think this is a huge flaw among the left, okay? When they target racial groups, when they say we want to tax white people, it turns people off, including me. Don't do race-based garbage like that, okay? But aside from that, and I do think that was a foible, I mean, let's talk about what else he focused on. I mean, he focused on so many different things. So he went to those halal street vendors, and that was his first political ad, where he asked them, you know, how is inflation impacting you and your prices, how much you're selling these, street food items for. And being able to actually connect with ordinary people is what put Mamdani on the map. Okay, this nonsense about him being like a terrorist, I'm rejecting that.
First of all, I said he was on the street and never called him a terrorist. And with all due respect,
Lindsay, and it was gross. It's gross.
How are you condoning his usage of globalized intifada? Is that
I think
okay?
it's stupid. He probably shouldn't say stupid stuff like that because it's going to be misinterpreted. I know what he meant by it. It doesn't matter though. People like you are going to be like shivering about it. So he shouldn't use words like that.
Because it was a horrible thing to say. He should not have said it. It's absolutely unacceptable.
Okay, Dave, go. I could go. Your turn.
Well, I mean, I guess I could kind of split the difference a little bit between the two of you. Like, I don't think like city-owned grocery stores are just a weird idea, and I think his plan for freezing rent-stabilized apartments and increasing the number of rent-controlled apartments, I think these are all going to be disastrous policies if they're enacted. I don't like to see that stuff win. I just feel like there's a level of like delusion amongst the Democratic establishment who's so opposed to this guy, and it's almost like they don't see two very obvious things to me as an outsider who's not a Democrat, and not, I guess, anymore a New Yorker, although I was born and raised there. Okay, number one, the Democrats, the establishment of the Democratic Party, they're the most humiliated castrated, discredited political group in the world. They
Preach.
literally they went all in for 8 years saying that Donald Trump was the greatest threat in the history of the world and that he was a Russian spy who led an insurrection and denied the results of an election. Democracy is over.
Yes, that's true, because they kept saying that the Republicans want to go back. Remember, they said that the Republicans want to go back to the past? That's what they want. And the Democrats, meanwhile, what are they talking about? I don't know what they did. They're losers, because being a Democrat now means being against Trump.
If this guy wins again, and then when the time came, the best they could field was a senile career politician who was an unimpressive dimwit before he lost his mind, and was just like totally attached to every disastrous policy in the last 40 years in America, the war on drugs, the war on terrorism, just everything. He was all over it.
So true.
Then at the last minute when
I'm pretty sure they have a video of him dropping the hard R, like in a congressional hearing. I think it was a quote, but still he dropped it. And I was just, that's so funny.
Realized he was too senile to run. They subbed in like a cackling retard to try to be the one who stopped it. And they just got totally humiliated. The guy who they said was the greatest threat to humanity wins every swing state and the popular vote. And then they want to walk back. And then now when they're so scared of this guy, the best they could feel was Andrew Cuomo. It's like the guy who just destroyed the state. Did they not realize how much people have woken up to how insane COVID was and how wrong he was about everything? Oh, and by the way, add in, he murdered senior citizens.
Yep.
Like murdered them. He forced these nursing homes who were begging and pleading. I mean, if you could think back to what it was in May of 2020 to send COVID positive patients into a nursing home, that's premeditated murder. Like, you know, for a fact, people will die as a result of this. Then he covered it up. Then he lied to Congress about the cover up. I mean, the guy is like, the fact that they would even run him or that he's considering running as an independent now is wild. And look, the fact here is, all this stuff about saying, oh, he hollered, globalized the Intifada. Nobody cares about this except people on TV and like people in very specific advocacy groups or something like that. It's just not what actually matters to people. The fact of the matter is that Andrew Cuomo, because he's such a member of the establishment, brought in all of the baggage of the war, which really should be irrelevant to the New York City mayoral race. But he brought in all that baggage. The truth is that Democrats in New York City, including the Jewish ones, don't support what Israel's doing to Gaza.
Yeah.
And for him to be asked in the debate about whether he would commit to visiting Israel or whether you believe in a two-state solution or a democratic one-state solution, this stuff was just goofy. I mean, if they were smarter, they should have asked him about, like, you know, the concern that Jews in New York have about anti-Semitism or something like that. But the fact is that the Democratic establishment, as always, had to carry defending the wars, which is largely impossible. Whereas Mamdani ran a campaign very specifically targeting the unaffordability of New York City, which is the actual crisis, not who hollered Intifada one time and what you mean by that.
Okay.
No one cares about this stuff. The fact is that
I like that not everyone talks for so long. I always feel that there is too much talk for the channel. With their comments, and these guys just talk and talk. Anna Kasparian, Korolov. Dave Smith put both women in their place at the same time.